So kind of as a demo here, we're going to use the second idea from the last presentation. So the child, parents giving their kids chores and then rewarding them. So like, what would be the example task that parents would do with their kids in this scenario?
So like task, give a child a chore.
Give a child a chore.
Task for the child to do. For the child's side, add like things they want to like add like a wish list, basically add items that the parents can allocate points towards. Say I've completed a task.
Let's say so a task for the child would be to get rewards for chores, right?
Okay,
So that'd be like the higher level task. Okay. Any other suggestions? Well, okay, so we can use both of these through this task analysis. So number one, so who's going to use the system? Parents and their kids. Yep. So like kind of just like who are our users, what are their backgrounds and personas. So the kids will be kind of like age 10, around that area. Maybe they could vary a little bit. So elementary, middle school. The parents will probably be in mid-30s and up. So we kind of went through this, like, what kind of tasks are performed now? So when you give a child a chore, how exactly do you do it? You just tell them to do it. And there's not necessarily a reward. Maybe the kid will say, oh, if you buy me the new toy or the new Xbox One, you can take out the trash. Pretty good deal for the child. But then the new way would be, for example, to use this mobile application. So how are these tasks learned? So this is kind of like the learning curve of how to use this application and having parents and children adopt them, and whether or not they need like any special training to use this type of software. And then, so where is the task performed?
Chores probably close to home. Assigning the chores anywhere. That's part of the thing with being mobile. You forget, you can add it wherever you want.
Right. So you're at work, your kid is at home, you can tell him to do chores. Isn't that great? Yeah. So like as we discussed in class, location for like the BART, for example, would be the BART station, and there's like different sorts of effects you have to be aware of. But I guess in a home setting, it's pretty safe environment, so you could have lots of noises and like pretty normal interface. And it's not really a rush, but maybe for the parents, let's say they just got out of the meeting and they're going to the next meeting, they want to assign their kid a chore, you want to make that interactive task. So this is an example of like task performed in the mall. Okay, so what kind of data would we use in a child chore app?
Type of chore.
Type of chore.
Like if we're doing the points thing, the number of points earned towards the goal.
Right.
Types of thing.
So if multiple people use the app, how exactly? What's considered personal data and what's considered common data?
Common data would be the types of chores, and personal data would be progress, current chores assigned, and like their status.
Right. So Facebook profiles are a very common application of personal data versus common data. So like common data would be if you search their name and then if you see the profile picture and gender, whereas personal data is things that are happening on the news. So other tools that people work with, so for the BART, for example, you'd be using your credit card to pay, as well as the actual machine itself. So what would be some other tools they'd be using in this scenario?
Whatever they're using for the camera on the phone and the phone itself.
Pretty much, yeah. So like vacuum cleaner, lawnmower, and smartphone. So like other tools are also things like the BART map, or like traffic lights when you're driving. So make sure to consider other things besides the number person or that you're using. And then how do users communicate? So the parents and the child will actually interact with each other through the mobile app, and it's a way to kind of like keep track of the actual checklist rather than just putting it on the refrigerator, and really giving tangible rewards for being the chore. And then how often are the tasks performed? So how often do kids do the chores?
Sometimes daily.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But daily up to weekly, monthly, that kind of thing.
Right. So what are some different time constraints, and is there a particular order you have to use this application in?
To assign the chore first. Some chores might come with time constraints, like say take the trash out before the trash truck comes. Access that can wait, anything that's not time specific.
Right.
That's maybe not time specific chore. Things like that.
So this really is kind of like going at pointing questions like that, but also like a parent has to assign a chore to a child before a child can actually do the chore. So that's a step that you actually have to consider when you're building the application, so that both the parent and child are kind of like on board and know what's happening. And also, what happens when things go wrong? So like, what happens when the child doesn't complete the chore? Or what happens when the parent like accidentally assigns like the wrong chore to the wrong child? Like assigns a 4-year-old to like go and get groceries from the supermarket. So we're pretty much out of time. So that's kind of like task analysis, and then contextual inquiry is really just allowing the person you're interviewing to teach us what to do, and kind of adopting the master apprentice model that you learned in class. Yeah, thanks for joining.
There's another one, right? There's another one.
There's another discussion.
Okay.
So that was like really, I don't know if that was long enough. So what I could do for the next discussion is just start teaching first.
Okay, yeah.
Or you don't have to stay if you don't want to, though. I don't know how much.
No, it's only, you talk about only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All the others is a project.
It's just the other project.
Yeah, so I will take probably another half an hour
Okay.
for the next session.
Yeah, I'll probably only lecture for like 10 to 15 minutes as well.
Okay,
Another 15
yeah.
minutes.
Now just take all your teaching sessions then.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. More than one activity for, you mean the homework assignment?
Yeah, the homework assignment.
That's, it's just as long as when we